This is a quick video of how to input data into your TI calculator, how to find certain characteristics of that data, and how to graph that data. So as you see on this right hand side, I've got just some bunch of random data, raw data, and I'm going to put it into my calculator. So I'll turn it on. What you want to do is you want to go into Stat, which is right here, and then you want to select Edit. So hit Enter, or you can hit 1, doesn't matter. And this is our list. Now, if you have stuff in your list, let's say I had, just some stuff in my list 1 here. What you can do is you can go up and scroll up to where L1 is highlighted. You can hit Clear and then Enter, and it will clear out the whole list all at once. So now that our list is ready, I can now put in these numbers. So I'm just going to type them in. 5, Enter, 6, 3, 2, 2, Okay, so all of my data is in list 1. Now the first thing I want to show you is how do you find the mean, standard deviation, and all the 5-number summary. So what you want to do now that it's in, is hit Stat again. And this time, instead of editing a list, we're going to scroll over to the Calculate menu, and we want one variable stats. So I'm going to hit Enter. Now, if your data is in like list 3, you need to tell the calculator list 3. Mine was in list 1, so I don't need to do that. If I hit Enter at this point, it's going to automatically default to list 1 and give me the characteristics of list 1. But if you did have like list 3, you can hit second, then 3, and it'll put list 3, and then that would find characteristics of list 3. And it doesn't hurt, you can put list 1 right here if you want. It'll still do the same thing. Or you can leave it blank and it's automatically going to use list 1. So if I hit Enter, you can see I have the mean of my data was 4.92857, blah blah blah. It adds up all the data, and we've got the if this is a sample, this is standard deviation, or if this is the entire population, there we go. That's the standard deviation, and our sample size was 21. We have 21 pieces of data. It'll also give you the min, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum, and so there's all the characteristics that you could possibly want. Now to graph this data, it's not too bad. You need to hit second and then this y equals, which is not really y equals. When you hit second, it actually goes into the stat plot menu. And so you can make multiple plots at the same time if you want. All of them are off right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my list, my plot 1. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to make a plot of my list 1 data. Right now it's on scatterplot, and scatterplots need 2 lists or 2 sets of data to do for X and Y. So I can't really make a scatterplot here. What I want to do is make either a histogram like this, or I want to make a box plot. This one right here is also a box plot, but this one separates the outliers for me using the 1.5 times IQR rule, where you add it to Q3 and subtract it from Q1. So it automatically does that for you. And once you select that, you'll see that this list 2 goes away because it only needs 1 list. So leave the frequency as 1. And if I go to graph, I may or may not see the graph. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, I can kind of see it up here. It looks like it got cut off though. That means our window or our zoom factor is kind of messed up. So what we can do is we can tell the calculator to zoom in for us to whatever it feels is appropriate to capture all the data. So to do that, you hit zoom and go down to where it says zoom stat, which is number 9 usually. And then hit enter, and it will take all the data that it's trying to graph and it will fit it, and it will change the window so you can see it all. There we go. So there was no outliers in here. If there were, it would separate them. with little dots. But you can see this is the minimum. And if you really want to see it, you can hit trace and it'll put this little spider and it'll tell you the minimum is -2. That was the smallest piece of data we had. Q1, or the 25th percentile, was 2.5. The median, the 50th percentile, was 5. We can see the Q3 and finally the maximum. Now you can make other plots too. If I go back into hit second y equals, that goes back into my stat plot menu, and I could make this into a histogram as well. And again, I'm going to hit zoom number 9, or you can scroll down to 9 for the zoom stat, and it'll make a histogram for you too. And again, you can trace it to see all the details of the graph as well.